The self-pass soccer move, also known as the Iniesta, the Croqueta, and sometimes the L, is a skill that all midfielders and forwards should know. The self-pass is essentially when you pass from one foot to the other foot, but it is only passing from one foot to the other when the defender reaches in trying to steal or kick away that ball. The self-pass is a reactive skill that you do when the defender acts by reaching in, so you react by moving the ball out of the way. Therefore, tip number 1 is to start the skill with whichever foot is closest to the ball. The type of field you play on determines which portion of your foot you should be doing that self-pass with. If you're playing on a smooth, wet, or turf field, use the portion of your foot up towards the inside, towards those toes, to pass it from one side of your body to the other. This is because this portion is the softer portion of your foot, which means it won't be as powerful when you're playing on, say, a wet field. However, if you play on concrete or long grass fields, you want to use the portion of the inside of your foot towards the heel to pass it from one foot to the other. This is because it will help overcome the increased friction from the field. Tip number 2, make sure your self-pass is horizontal to the defender, and can you give this video a like? A diagonal self-pass makes it 2 to 3 times easier for the defender to either steal the ball or at least poke it away because you're moving the ball a lot closer to their feet and body. Tip number 3, when the ball is in front of the receiving foot on the other side, make sure to push it directly up the field. Use the correct portion of your foot depending on the type of field in order to push the ball from one foot to the other and up the field. The cool thing with this skill is that the other team's player that's reaching in for the ball, their momentum is going in the complete opposite direction of yours. Since you are running towards them and they are stepping in towards you, your momentum is going in the opposite direction of theirs. Therefore, if the defender reaches in for the ball and you do your self-pass and get by them, that means that they have to go from essentially a full sprint to a stop as they were reaching in for it, back to turning around and going for a full sprint to try to catch up with you. You are going in the same direction the entire time when doing a self-pass, so as they reach in and you get the ball by them and past them, you're likely several yards past them already when they have to come to a complete stop and turn around and start accelerating again. By the way, I'm Dylan Joseph, trainer and #1 best-selling Amazon author. Avoid doing this skill when a defender is backpedaling or jockeying you, as this is not the right time to do a self-pass. Also, avoid diagonal to the defender self-passes. Self-passes should be horizontal to the defender, not diagonal, to be most effective. Because defenders shouldn't really be using any other foot skills other than the step over and the pass fake, and because forwards are usually going against defenders that are backpedaling, this is why I say this move is especially important for midfielders. In fact, that is why one of the nicknames of this skill is the Iniesta, which is short for Andres Iniesta, the famous Spanish and Barcelona club team center midfielder who used this skill so effectively that they nicknamed it after him. Think about it, if a defender reaches in for that ball and misses, they have a ton to lose by the forward getting by them because they likely have little support other than the goalkeeper. That means it could easily result in that high probability scoring chance of a breakaway. Therefore, most defenders prefer to jockey and backpedal to look for an opportunity to either block a shot or pass or to steal the ball. However, midfielders are usually covered by midfielders from the other team. If a midfielder on the other team tries to reach in and steal the ball, they don't have much to lose because they likely have at least 4 defenders and maybe some other midfielders behind them that can act as support because you just dribbled past them with that self-pass. Therefore, midfielders are constantly diving in, trying to poke the ball away or steal it altogether from players on the other team. This is why midfielders must understand how to use this move and to be able to do it effectively. If you're looking to practice this skill, there's 2 great ways to do it by yourself. Number 1, without cones. Just grab a ball and work on your self-pass back and forth as you move up the field. Make sure that your self-passes are not diagonal. And number 2, with cones. Set down, say 6 to 10 cones about a yard apart in a line. Then practice your self-passes in between each cone for a more precise self-pass. Again, make sure that your self-passes are horizontal and be sure to subscribe.